Hello, I hope you are well. In this video we will see are there any particular areas of education reform that you feel are most important. Welcome to the question answer channel. Thanks to Matthew Bates, Jeffrey Reamer and Joanne Vicente for sharing their views on this question. Let's go for Matthew Bates's first answer.
Student discipline. All other areas of education reform rely on it. Teachers cannot teach without disciplined students. Students cannot learn without disciplined classmates. If you were able to watch a live stream of 20 different classes of the same grade at 20 different schools, and rank them from 1 to 20 as to how well disciplined the students were, that ranking would almost certainly match the class's standardized test score averages. No amount of teacher training can help a teacher who isn't allowed to maintain discipline in their classroom. No new way of learning, no new program is going to make any difference in a classroom where the teacher has to spend more than a few minutes of each class just trying to get their students to pay attention to the lesson. You can throw all of the money you want at outside consultants, new buildings, new textbooks, etc., and it won't move the academic achievement needle at all if there are undisciplined students in the classroom. Anyone who is serious about wanting to improve a failing school must begin with giving teachers the tools they need to discipline disruptive students, preferably by removing those students from the classroom, so the teacher can actually teach the students who want to learn and don't distract their classmates. Anyone who claims to want to improve schools, but doesn't begin with student discipline, isn't serious about improving schools.
The next answer is from Matthew Bates.
A return of discipline to the classroom. No other educational reform will have any meaningful impact until teachers have some recourse for getting chronically disruptive students out of their classrooms. Here's a very interesting article about teachers' views on discipline in their classrooms. It's from before the pandemic. Things are worse now, and it inserts race into the equation. I think that's an unnecessary distraction, but it's still a very good article. Discipline reform through the eyes of teachers, statistics, charts, tables in quotes, Thomas B. Fordham Institute Advancing Educational Excellence. Check out the study that asked black and white teachers in high-poverty schools what they think about school discipline. The website includes survey responses, data, charts, graphs and recommendations. I particularly like this quote from a teacher in that article. Most teachers agree that the main problem is a few disruptive students who continually ruin the educational experience for their classmates. This is why so many parents have just given up on the public school system altogether, and why so many public schools have to keep lowering their academic standards in order to get students to meet them. Most students don't have discipline problems, but a few students with major discipline problems are allowed to ruin an entire class for their classmates, day after day. I saw this firsthand when I did my teaching internship at a Chicago public school. Day after day, class after class, lesson after lesson, 3 students, all boys, got 90% of the teacher's attention with their disruptive behavior. It got so bad that some teachers simply gave up trying to teach some days, and passed out worksheets for the students to do. The administration did nothing when the disruptive students were sent to the office, other than send them back to the classroom. Sending them out required documentation from the teacher. Thus, they were able to take more of the teacher's time even when the teachers, were on their planning periods. They had to set aside time to fill out the daily discipline report for those 3 boys. A normal classroom setting just doesn't work for some students. Forcing those students to attend a normal classroom is an injustice for the other students in the classroom. It's not about what's best for the students, it's about what makes the adults who don't have to teach feel better about themselves. They want to feel inclusive and like society isn't giving up on some kids, so they force those students into a normal classroom, essentially sacrificing the education of all of the students in the classroom for the sake of warm fuzzy feelings. Here's a news story from 2018 from California about a school district that implemented a new, more lax discipline policy after a lawsuit. Watch it and listen to what the teachers say about how difficult it is to teach when the students know that they can get away with almost anything, and how it's the good students who suffer. And this is what happened to that school district's academic performance and statewide rankings as a result of the new discipline policy. Here's another report about a different school in Kentucky from 2014. And here's one from a school in Ohio. The teacher in this one is saying what a lot of teachers are thinking. If you are serious about wanting to improve education in America, the quickest, easiest way to do it would be to give teachers body cams and or live stream their classes. Let parents see how a single misbehaving student can ruin an entire class. Get the parents of the majority of students who just want to learn and can behave themselves to demand a return to discipline in the classroom for their students at all costs.
The following answer is from Jeffrey Reamer.
Do you know how long it took for the first human to learn how to make a fire? It took ages for the first person to finally figure it out. Rub some sticks together in the right way and you get a fire. Now, how long do you think it took for the second human to learn how to make a fire? That's right, probably less than a day. The first human showed other guys how to do it. They quickly got the hang of it and started to teach this method to other people. That's how the concept of fire spread like, well, fire. And within a century or so, everybody was using it. They educated each other to spread the word. And because of that, we were able to grow as a species. We were able to protect ourselves better, to keep warm, and to make all kinds of other discoveries. And of course, we shared those as well to continue our growth. When the wheel was finally invented, we made damn sure that nobody had to reinvent it all over again. Our ability to learn not only from our own experiences, but from other people's experiences as well, is what sets us apart from most other species. We don't need to discover everything about the world by ourselves, we can build on what our ancestors have discovered in the past millennia. That's what education is about. In the first 20 or so years of your life, you get exposed to the most important parts of mankind's collective knowledge. We basically tell you, here's what we know so far about how the world works and about how you can function as a human being. Now go and improve on this knowledge. And then tell us what you've learned, so we can grow as a species. And that's why people have to get educated.
What do you think? We will continue with Joanne Vicente's answer.
Most of the reforms are simply returns to times before we knew as much as we know now. Students will learn a great deal less about the real world in which they live, and ignorance will be honored. Teachers will be forbidden to teach what they know they should, and they'll be forced to pass on right-wing propaganda. This is a very sad time in the USA.
This is the end of the video. I hope you have more answers. If this answer helps you, please help us too by leaving a like and subscribing to this channel. It allows us to move forward on YouTube. We are coming to the end of this video. Share your views on this question in the comments. See you next time.